Welcome to Mama Ryan Says, where we work to manage, heal, and thrive together. Where I share my more than 20 years of life and work experience through conversations across a variety of topics, including personal and professional development. This platform, channel, uh, conversation has been in the works for a really long time, and I am excited to finally be at a place where we can have these conversations. So, before I get into all of that, it's always strange to me when I come across people um, on the internet, right? Personalities, coaches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and I don't really know much about them. And it's like you have to dig to learn about them. And it's sort of like, why am I listening to you? Why do I care what you have to say? And I'm not saying that anybody should care what I have to say. I'm giving you context about why I'm doing this and the experiences that have led to this and the um, insights that I have to share. But I think context is important and knowing where all of that comes from is helpful. So, to do that, I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight about me and my background and why I'm doing this and creating this platform and this conversation. So, I have a consulting business called the Healing Circle Organization and Leadership Coaching. The Healing Circle has been around for probably about 7 years, but I formalized it into a coaching practice in the last 4 or 5 years and have done a lot of work on the leadership and organizational side. But the healing circle, right? I've been doing that since I was in third grade. I am a lot of things. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a coach, a consultant, a business owner, an entrepreneur. I am a fixer, a problem solver. I am a perfectionist. I'm an empath. I'm a highly sensitive person, a very proud, highly sensitive person. Um, I am a suicide survivor. I am someone who has lived and managed depression, lived with and managed depression and anxiety. I've lived with a chronic pain disorder for the last 15, 16 years. I like to say I'm perfectly imperfect, just as the divine designed me. Um, and I also think of myself as a work of God's art in progress. So I've been doing the work that I do in terms of helping people heal. Not that I am a healer, but being a facilitator, being someone who is a part of someone's healing process, nurturing, taking care of, creating space. That's really what the healing circle is about. It's about creating space. As a third grader, my school was close to our apartment complex. I would walk home after school, and in the apartment complex, there were a number of what they used to call latchkey kids back in the day, which just meant you were unsupervised after school at home or doing whatever. And so I was a good girl, always a good girl. I go home, do my homework, etc. But there would be a group of kids who were um, always kind of just hanging out or whatever. And I would bring like all the little latchkey kids into my apartment, put them around the kitchen table, and feed them Ritz crackers and orange juice. And there were kids who maybe didn't have snacks, or parents weren't home and they couldn't get in the house, or just all kind of situations. My parents later wondering where's all the food and orange juice going, but that's how natural creating space comes to me. So I think of it as my purpose, my why, my place in life, why I do what I do, why I exist. And so this has been a lifetime of experience. But to give a little bit more context, I uh, educationally, my background, I have an associate's degree from a community college that I'm very proud of. I went first to a four-year college, an art school. I had to leave that school because of family stuff and financial stuff. And so I went to a community college, which was a great experience. I then transferred to a four-year university, Bradley University, and got my psychology or bachelor's in psychology. I also completed at the same time a certification in alcohol and drug counseling. I never got certified. I am not a licensed therapist. I did a master's program that was a dual, human development counseling and human service administration. I did all the counseling work up until the practicum, but I did a practicum as a part of my alcohol and drug counseling certification at a women's treatment facility. And so I decided not to go the counseling route. And again, I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not certified to do any kind of counseling or therapy, but all of that stuff, along with my own um, history, have informed kind of the work that I do today. I've also, my academic story is kind of interesting. That'll be a whole nother conversation later, but I've went to school for some other things. I've had a lot of education in business and some education in law. I have a variety of certifications, Scrum, uh, ProSci, AdCar, change management certification. So blah 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 blah. I have those things also. All of those things inform the work that I do. I'm also a certified life coach. My coaching started individually as a part of the other work that I do. So after completing my master's degree or my bachelor's degree, I was working in the social service field for a while, and worked in social service in the nonprofit world through my late early 20s to late 20s. But I'm also I work and own a family business in addition to my consulting business. And so I decided to sort of shift from social work to administrative and business stuff. Always had a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. That's in my history, my background, on both sides of my family. So that has sort of always been ingrained in me to kind of not necessarily, oh, I thought one day I'm going to work for myself. It was more of I have ideas, I have ambitions, I see things. Um, but let me backtrack. So that's my educational background. Personal background, before I get into my work professional background and some of the other life experiences that I will speak to in more in depth. I am a child of divorce, and my parents divorced when I was 7 years old. I'm a daddy's girl, love my dad. Didn't live in the same state with him, so we didn't have a whole lot of contact necessarily, but I have a strong, relationship with my father and love him very dearly. I have a very strong mother who was a great single mother, helping, raising me for a while, and then was a great mother to me and my brother, and support for my stepfather, who she married when I was about 10, and had my stepbrother, or my with my stepfather, had my brother. And so I think some of the things that make me unique in terms of my experience is that I got to come in to see at a very early age how a business runs, and the business from start to, from scratch. My stepfather is a physician, retired, and started his own business when I was in my teens. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. He had a stroke actually, and started his own business, which is one of the reasons why I left college. Um, but he worked for a university for a while and then started working with students. And 20 years later, he's grown this amazing business that we help medical students pass their licensing exams. I am chief administration officer, co-owner with my brother and my stepfather. Um, and so from a very early age, I saw his grind. He was a resident when him and my mom married, so I saw the struggles. We were not rich prior to that. We were not rich forever, really. Yes, he became a practicing physician, and we lived well, and had a lot of privilege, a lot of private high school. Um, so I definitely feel privileged, but I also know what it's like to not have and struggle. So I've been, I've seen both worlds. Um, and so I feel appreciative that from an early age I was able to work in his office. I didn't appreciate it then. Me and my brother have worked. the most menial, done all of the menial jobs and all of the businesses from, moving things around and putting things together and setting things up and, putting food out to handling the financial accounts and handling the website and developing new products. So I think sometimes, you know, the assumption sometimes with people's like, oh, you have this easy sort of, row to hoe, and that's just not necessarily the case. And so I hope to share some of my experiences too in terms of being in a family business or just that entrepreneurial experience and helping to run a business and the challenges and the beauty of it, but also the challenges that go along with it. So I have my mom, my stepdad, my brother, my dad remarried. So I have a stepmom and two stepsisters, and I have a wonderful family. As I said, I'm a mom. I've been married for 18 years to my partner. I am a lesbian. I am a part of the GLBTQ community, have been an advocate. I came out when I was 19. Have been a part of lots of movements around that in terms of advocacy. My partner and I are part of a lawsuit to sue the state of Illinois for the right to marriage, and civil unions were part of the outcome of that before marriage was legal in the US. And so I think that's also a big part of my identity and what informs me. But I am a mom. I have two beautiful stepdaughters who are in their mid to late 20s, a beautiful granddaughter, and our son is 16 and a teen. Um, and so being a mom, being a partner, um, all of those things are a part of my journey and give you context and insight into who I am and why I think the way I think and what I think and the information that I'm just going to share. So, what am I leaving out? What am I leaving out? I feel like I'm leaving out lots of things. There's so much to tell, but I just wanted to give a brief introduction in terms of who I am, and what I do and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the goal here is to create community, create space. The healing circle in general is meant to be space for conversations, for insight, for growth, for accountability, for difficult conversations. My specialty is difficult conversations. I've been pushed to leadership positions a good portion of my life. My portfolio, when I did my master's in leadership and in human administration, was the reluctant leader because I've never seen myself as a leader, but I'm the person who asks the whys and challenges and is like, well, why are we doing it that way? Well, why not do it this way? And has spoken up, even despite, a lot of reasons not to, and people not creating space for me to do that, which led to me being put in leadership roles and is a big part of my story. Uh, I am a gastric bypass recipient. At one point, I weighed 400 pounds. Um, more details about me. Uh, I'll talk more about that. I have fibromyalgia, which is a chronic pain disorder. Not much is known about it. That has been a long journey. Um, I was diagnosed with depression in my late teens. Have had multiple suicide attempts. Have had, yeah, some journeys. Done some psych stays. Seen lots of therapists. Done some inpatient, outpatient stuff. So I have a lot to share. I have a lot to share. I've seen a lot. I've traveled a good portion of the United States because of my work, and some outside the U.S., mostly the Caribbean. Um, so yeah, gosh, um, this is where we find ourselves. So I'm going to be sharing more. I'm going to be giving some professional development tips, and then I'm going to also be talking about my journey with fibromyalgia and just living with the chronic disorder, and hoping that there are other people out there who that may resonate. There's out there who are experiencing those same things. And there's a lot more to come from this platform and my channel. And I hope that you will join me. I hope that you will like, subscribe, follow. And I do have some caveats. Wait, I have caveats. Don't go anywhere. I have caveats. So if you're going to like, subscribe, join, and follow, there's some things you need to know about me. Again, I'm not a licensed therapist or physician. Please consult one. I will advise you to consult one. As much as I will give advice, share stories, I will always say consult a professional. I am not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. I came to that conclusion many, many years ago. I am not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. Hey, let's be friends. Move along. It's okay. I tend to curse. I tend to curse a lot. I'm gonna try my best not to. I can cuss like a sailor sometimes. I'm not proud of it, but I'm gonna try my best to not do that. I can be blunt. It can get me into trouble sometimes. I tend to speak up. I tend to say what's on my mind and ask hard questions. So that's not always perceived well, and it can be perceived as blunt. Take that for what it is. I like to simplify complex ideas. I have a lot of education. I've read lots of books. I have taken lots of classes, et cetera, et cetera. But I really think we overcomplicate and overthink and overanalyze a lot of stuff. And when it comes back down to it, a lot of managing and thriving in life is about simplicity. And so I will be doing a series called Shit Nobody Told Me, which is really simplifying complexities in life and lessons that I've learned along the way that I wish somebody had told me or that people did tell me and that I think other people should know. And I just ask that she show me grace and mercy. I like to, as much as possible, you know, give people grace and mercy and um, think that they have overall good intentions. And I hope that that's how I will be received. I have a horrible memory and I lose track of my thoughts. I've killed a lot of brain cells over the years. I have a chronic disorder. I take medication that affects my memory. There's a lot going on up there. I will forget things and I will lose my train of thought. I guarantee you, I promise you. Bear with me. Be patient. Give me grace and mercy. Um, so yeah, those are all my caveats, I think. I'm sure there'll be more, but that was a lot. I didn't want it to be a really long video, but I just want this to be a place where you can start and learn about Mama Ryan, learn about the Healing Circle, and becoming a part of my community. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye.